Hi guys, and welcome back to Creative Pet Keeping. In this video we're going to talk about the most important thing when you have a betta and an aquarium, and that is breeding containers. If you have community tanks with bettas, these are very awesome and crucial. Now I got two new ones that I'm going to open up. This is not sponsored, I just bought them recently. I've never had this one before, so I'll assemble this and try this out. And I got a new one. It's pretty much the same as this, but new and not scratchy with nice clear glass. And then the inside part here is taken out. Now, breeding containers are usually used for breeding certain fish, separating baby fish so they can grow out in a tank. But they can also be a good way to house a betta in a community tank in case your betta's too aggressive. Now, they come in different sizes. I have my old breeding containers for comparison. This is a small, and it has holes at the bottom so you can have a flow of clean water, so your betta has access to clean filtered water without a current. And this is a small size, and then this is the medium size. As you can see, let me give you a comparison. It is not much bigger, but it definitely does give your betta more room, and the difference is the flow is on the two sides of the container. Now, if you have a tank and community betta tank, and it's kind of small tank, maybe like the size of this tank, by the way, preview to new betta, dun dun dun. But if you have a smaller tank, I would recommend getting this. And if you're considering possibly keeping a male betta in a more permanent breeding container, then I definitely recommend this as a minimum, because at least this gives the betta room to actually swim around and move around. In my opinion, the best option is for the betta to have an entire tank to itself that is 2.5 gallons or more. But if you're going to do a basic bare minimum, I think this could be it. This could also be great to introduce your betta to other fish without harassing them. So you can have your betta inside a tank, and the betta will float around in here, and you can look at the other fish and kind of get excited and flare at them. But over time, if you have a betta that's not super aggressive, he will get bored of the other fish. So he can do this inside of the breeding container. For me, I've noticed if I add a new betta to a tank, usually if I keep him in the breeding container for 2 weeks and let him see the other fish for 2 weeks, after 2 weeks he starts to get bored and will lose interest. So that definitely helps. It can also be good for fish that are getting older. So as your betta ages, then swimming around becomes more difficult, especially in a larger tank, and if you have a bigger current in your tank. So this can be an easy option where there's not a big current and it's easy for the betta to get up to the surface to breathe. So it has different options. Now, when it comes to sick bettas, this is not the best option in the world, because this way your betta is still in the tank with other fish, and you can get the other fish sick by passing on the disease to them because there's still water flow. So my good solution is I have this small critter keeper. I don't remember what size it is, but I think this might be 1 gallon, I think. But it's large enough that I can have my little heater that's for tanks that are 2.5 gallons or less. And it's a great temporary solution. That's where I had Autumn, the female betta, before she passed. And I might be keeping one of the males in here. I was thinking about putting Demon Betta in here for a little while. Possibly. I don't know yet. I don't know who's going to come in here. I also might put one of the 2 new males I got in here, so I can photograph them a little better. So I'll put one in here, photograph him, then you take him out and swap him. Obviously, I'm not going to put 2 together. Never put 2 males together in a tank. But without further ado, let's check out these 2. So this is the Imaginarium Nursery tank. And that's pretty much the same as this one. I just wanted a new one that was not scratched. Now, these do scratch very easily, I've learned. So if you are going to clean them with a soft sponge. Don't use a hard one like I did and mess those up. So I got a new one. I'm going to open that. And I've never used a net breeder. Now, the cool thing about this is that it has netting all around, so there is even more clear flow. Now I don't know how this would work with algae growing on it and how quickly it will get dirty, but you know, we'll check it out. We'll see how it goes. And I could also keep baby guppies in here if I wanted them to grow out instead of a betta. So this definitely has a lot of options. So let me take all these out so I can assemble them. Okay, so here's the new breeding container. It comes with a lid. Now I lost my other lid for the other one, but this is great for bettas because it has holes for air to go through. But by covering it, you don't have to worry about your betta jumping out. So say I want to keep Demon Betta, this guy who's known for trying to kill many fish. Oh, by the way, he's changing colors again. He's a butterfly betta, so it's kind of expected, but we'll see what color he changes to this time. But anyways, this is a great way to keep your betta from jumping out and keeping them safe. Now, this part you don't need. This you put on the bottom, and there's a divider, so you can technically keep 2 sets of fish. So if you're breeding guppies, you can put one guppy pair on one side, another guppy pair on the other side, and then put this on the bottom so that all the babies can get trapped on the other side and the guppies won't eat them. Let's get it out. There it is. So you can use it for that. Or the other option is, I guess you can put the middle divider inside and keep 2 male bettas, but to be honest, I would not recommend keeping 2 males. Yeah, you put it through here. I would not recommend keeping 2 males right next to each other. Even if you have really mellow males, they might get over it and not care, but I don't think having this much room is enough or fair for a betta. At least give the betta the entire container so he can actually move around and swim. So that's what this one looks like. Pretty much same thing as the other one. The other one's just old and scratched up. So I wanted to get another because I want to keep one of the males in here for a while. And now let's open up this one. Anyway, in case you were curious, whoa, horrible lighting. There we go. This is the instruction. You just snap it together like this. And here's the directions. So it even comes with little plants that you can put in, but I don't know. I'm going to touch them, see if they're sharp or if the betta can get its tails cut on it. So I don't know if that's a good option for bettas, but yeah, let me open it up. So here are the plants, little spokes, and this is, I think, the top, and this is the netting. So it's kind of very simply made. I think you can probably DIY this yourself. I don't know how well this is. I hope it's attached pretty well. Okay. But yeah, it's very soft. So you have to worry about your betta hurting itself on this. And it's definitely small, so if you have babies and fry, they won't escape. So let me put this together. Okay, so here's one edge in. So you pretty much just push in and just snap inside these things, these little corners. Now, the edges are connected, as you can see already. So all I would do on this side is just put this here and just put it in and snap it inside. Okay, so this is kind of a pain in the butt to assemble. I was struggling. Then you slide these in here through the holes, and then you break off these little pieces right here, and they're going to go in here to block the end from falling out, and then you have the suction cup. Man, this is not, for at least, I don't know, maybe I'm derpy, but this is not easy to assemble. But let me finish this up. Okay, so this is finally assembled. To give you a comparison, compared to the medium breeding container, this is about an inch taller, and then looking at the width, it is about an inch wider as well. And this way, it's wider, and it's also taller this way. So if you compare the both, this is definitely a little bigger. So if you were to want to permanently keep a betta and a container, this might be actually a good option because it gives the Betta at least a fair amount of space for a permanent. I mean, I think this is okay too. They're both not ideal. Obviously, having an entire tank to swim in is the most ideal option. But these are very cool alternatives. They're good for backups, or, you know, if you want to have a large community tank, but you have a really grumpy Betta, or you have a really strong flow in your tank, this, you know, netting will help block some of that flow. This definitely will, especially if you put this in the direction of the flow. This will block it, and it means that your Betta doesn't have to deal with a strong current, but can still have warm and clean water. So these are definitely, you know, different cool options and alternatives. So now all I have left to do is to put my fish in them so they can try it out. So here is the setup. My duckweed kind of got stuck everywhere, but that's okay. I don't mind. Here is Mr. Bubbles swimming around. I still need to lessen the current on this tank, but Mr. Bubbles doesn't seem to mind because he does have a lot of, the current is strongest over there, and he can like hang out around here, which he usually does. So he can have the option of not being bothered by it. But he's going to be neighbors with, I think, Demon Betta again. Now, I made a top for this so that it will ensure the Demon Betta can't escape. I made a little hole right here so I can drop food more easily. This will ensure that he can get to him. Maybe I might put a little rock or pebble on here to weigh it down, just to be sure. And he gets a little bit of light. I didn't want to put a whole lot of light, but he has that option of going into the light, or he can go into the shadow if he so chooses. But because they're both older Bettas, I think that might be a good option for them. I like that Mr. Bubbles is here. He seems to prefer this tank a lot better. I'm not sure why, but his fins have been growing back a lot better in here than in the 5.5 gallon. Even though this has a stronger current, surprisingly, he's doing better. So, are you biting? Really? Really? You're so silly. I need a clean glass. There's some algae on here. It's good algae, though. It's a green algae. This tank is doing well. It's healthy. I'm just letting the plants grow out however they want right here. I don't really have actual plans for this at the moment, so this is just being as is. So yeah, we're gonna put Demon Betta in here so they can be neighbors, and if they want to flare at each other and be grumpy. But that way also Demon Betta won't really be alone. I mean, but Mr. Bubbles won't be alone. He seems to like it here. And then we're gonna put the other males into the other tanks and see how that works out. Okay, I'm gonna catch Mr. Demon Betta. Now I have a very funny way of catching Bettas. Bettas are kind of curious, and you could use a net, or you could use your hands to catch one. Move this light out of the way. But I found out a funny way. I like to grab a cup, a clear cup, and just kind of find a spot and put it in and kind of let him swim on his own. Look, ta-da! So easy. So easy and less stress because he's still in the water. He's like, what? What just happened, guys? What just happened? The easiest way to catch a Betta. So let's take him over to the mess that's in my kitchen. Oh, you can actually see him better here. Look at him. He's turning colors again. He's kind of palish. But we'll see what happens. Yeah, he can have that moss ball. But yeah, now I'm just gonna put him in his little container. And he is in. Now, granted, the only downside is you can't really see him as well through the netting. But he is kind of, his colors are not that magical to look at right now anyways. I have the netting on top. As you can see, I put a little rock so that it can, the glass between the rock can press down on the top. This is my little hole for feeding. And actually, you could kind of see him through the hole. I was going to make a bigger hole, and maybe I might in the middle, but I don't really want him to jump out. He's kind of known for escaping, so I wanted to put him in kind of Alcatraz, in a sense. And I figured this would work pretty well to keep him contained and give him a lot of room so he can, as he ages and gets older, this can be a nice little habitat. So this definitely could be a nice solution if you have a show Betta or a really fancy looking Betta that you want to actually see better. This is not really the best solution in a sense that you can't really see them too well through the netting. But this is a good solution for giving a Betta a larger home with really good water flow. That's still not too strong, but still pretty good. And it gives them a lot of room. So if you have a Betta that's getting older, this could also be a very good solution. And I also give him that algae Betta buddy moss ball, so he has something floating around his habitat. But yeah, very simple setup. It'll be his good home for now before things change again. It's gonna be neighbors with Mr. Bubbles. Mr. Bubbles can flare at him if he so chooses. I'm probably gonna put a sponge in the filter so that I can lower the flow, because it's kind of too strong for my liking. I mean, I like that it agitates the surface, and when I used to have guppies and tiger barbs in here, the tiger barbs loved it. They just swim against the current, like stay in one spot and keep swimming. They seem to like that because they're more river fish. Oh, Mr. Bubbles is like, who's this? What is this? But for the sake of the Bettas, I want to definitely decrease the current, like I've done in the female sorority tank. I'll actually give you guys an update in the next video, and you'll get to see how I lowered the current. The other nice thing about this is, because of the netting, they can't really nip each other through this, so if Mr. Demon Betta over here lays down at the bottom, Bubbles can't nip at him. So that's really good, because that was my concern when you know, two males in the same container. But yeah, so in the next video, guys, I'm going to show you the new males, and we're gonna have more updates. I think I finally might set up a poll so you can name the females, and we're gonna go from there. But this is my cool review of this breeding container, and in the new video on Tuesday, you will get to see the other breeding container with its new occupant. So I hope you like this video. I hope you give me a thumbs up. I hope you subscribe if you already haven't, and be sure to check out some of my other Betta fish or other pet related videos. I have over 100 videos of cats, dogs, bunnies, guinea pigs, even gerbil videos that are really old, so definitely check them out. Okay, bye.